Okay, I want to take a quick live look at these are the Statis Pro cards that I cut up last night from what I showed in the unboxing yesterday. And I decided to arrange them like so. Yes, this card is upside down because this is, I'm going to do this with backup goalies and players that will probably not see very much ice time if they're skaters. And this is going to be one of many ways that if and when I do this replay, I should say when I do this replay, I will get some sort of replay done, some semblance of the 1924-25 NHL season. It's just going to happen. And that's that. But Charles Stewart probably will start most, if not all, games for Boston. I don't care if that isn't in line with history. I want a good, competitive, close league. I want parity. And Boston's other goaltenders are ridiculously bad. So with the Status Pro set, you get sort of like a coach card. I think that's a pretty neat little thing about this game. The coach here is actually Art Ross of the famed Art Ross Trophy. The scoring title winner, that one. And again, more backup players, kind of keep them in behind. This is going to be a forward line. I have no idea if historically this would have been the line. I will, before I actually play it out, take a look at some box scores and things and try to get a better idea. I just looked at some of the numbers and kind of figured out roughly that these were Boston's best three forwards. This is going to be a bit of an adventure because some of these teams, they barely have 10 skaters. And some of them have like 10 or 12 defensemen and only a handful of forwards. It was a very different game then. And so when I do this, if you're looking for a facsimile replay, look elsewhere. This will not be that. This is probably going to be a hybrid replay. I want to make this playable. But I thought it was pretty interesting, like, for example, looking at the average ice time, and I could do this with just about any player. Like you see Norm Shea here, 29 minutes and 47 seconds of average time on ice. But when you consider the size of the lineups, that actually makes sense. So it was just such a different game then. Here are the defensemen. And again, this would be the pair. And this upside down card, this card is kind of just a backup defenseman that I'm going to ignore. And I guess to give a bit of a closer look, this is an idea I got from, I think it's Al Wilson. Al Wilson, I should actually link to his channel or feature his channel on mine, but he did this with Hockey Blast, where so you have your forward lines and your defense pairs. So if I change defense pairs, I'll just probably flip it like this to do the change. And let's say I want to go from line 1 to line 2. Similar, it's just a flip. It's real quick. I know I've seen the Statis Pro board, and I thought about printing it. But really what I want, I think, is just a smaller footprint. Of course, I will have charts and other things that I'll have to set up when I'm actually playing. But I thought I'd do a bit of a closer look. This is obviously unscripted, and I'm just kind of going on the fly here. Again, it's one of those situations where I thought I'd check in over here in the morning, and I do have to get back to work soon, but sometimes at the end of the day, I'm a bit tired for this. Some of my other videos, I sound a little tired because I'm trying to do something at the end of the day. So I wanted to do one, again, kind of like yesterday's. These are the Hamilton Tigers, the famed Hamilton Tigers. Again, first overall in the NHL. They had a record of 19, 10, and 1, 39 points. That was first in the league, and not just by a little. So I'm really, really eager to play some games with these guys. They have a really good front line here. I assume these two are related, red-green. And if you're a Canadian viewer, that's probably a familiar name, not the same guy, I'm quite sure. And Shorty Green as well, Billy Birch there in center. And again, they have, I think, 2 forward lines, and that's that, because these are the defense pairs. So it's going to be just very different. And probably what I will do is some hybrid, as I mentioned already, between how it was played then and then how it is played in the modern day. I can't really see any other way of doing it. I guess another reason I'm making this video, though, come to think of it, is to ask if anyone might have any suggestions on how I can do this and make it playable and make it workable. Although I've not played it yet, I do not think this is a fault of the game at all. I think, if anything, I think Brian, I might pronounce your last name incorrectly, but Yonushonis, I did my best. Brian Yonushonis, I think that he did his best. I mean, with all the information that he had available, statistical information in that era, in that year, was quite limited. But anyway, here are the Habs. So yeah, I think he did his best. And here are the halves: George Vezina, Montreal Canadiens. Again, the coaching card. That's what I call it. There might be another word for it, but the coach is here. The team. It's like a team card, I guess, would be the other term for it. I guess 36. So they were a little closer than I remembered. So there you have Montreal's famed top line, and this isn't an exact setup yet, obviously. This was me just wanting to put in these cards rough after I cut them out. And I know it isn't the best fit, but it's a little small for these pockets, but what can you do? It's something. So they're the Montreal Maroons. And yeah, so I guess I just wanted to take a few minutes and give a closer look at this. I don't really have anything else to do right now, but I want to keep doing videos, talking to cameras and talking to the camera. I only have the one. And upload the content. And anyway, if as I mentioned or sort of asked already, if you have any ideas as to how I might be able to get creative and replay this, certainly any suggestions I'll welcome. I'll listen to them or look at them. But otherwise, I think like looking at some of the numbers too, actually, that's another thing I wanted to mention here. I'll try to do so quickly. Like some of these guys, if you have any idea about how Statis Pro Hockey works, and I've yet to play it, so I only have some idea, but he's basically never going to score, which again is true to the era. Defensemen, I think pretty much with very few exceptions, defensemen almost never scored. The rules were different then. Before I put my foot in my mouth, I do have to take a closer look at specifically how they were different. I'm trying to remember, like, for example, when forward passing in the attack zone, in the offensive zone, when that became permitted in the game. So obviously, before I do a replay like this, I will have to do some research, but I think even after doing that research, inevitably, this will have to be some hybrid between hockey in the past and modern day hockey. Anyway, I will insist on making this work one way or another, and quite eager to play it. But yeah, I just thought I'd do kind of a combo of show what I've done with the cards since cutting them up and just give my thoughts in general based on what I have seen so far. So yeah, anyway, anything like commenting, liking, subscribing, clicking the notification bell, anything like that, it's never expected, but it's always appreciated. And that's about it for me for now. So bye for now.